So you can see a really nice finish there. I mean, it's a really nice finish, but for a little bit of extra protection, that's what the lacquer's for. The petrol resistant one, like I said earlier, is just a little bit thicker, just a little bit more solid. And you can wait 10 minutes from your last wet coat and then start putting on your lacquer in the same system. So some light coats, build them up, 4, 5, 6, 7 coats, whatever you're comfortable with, and then let it dry. But really do let it dry, you know, because paint, even though it looks like it's dry, it cures from the inside out, and it kind of continues to cure. So I like to put them in the garage for a week or so in this kind of weather, and then come back a week later and chuck them all on, and then you're sure you've got your kind of solid paint there, and if you get a quick scratch on it, it's not going to come off. Right now, if I started trying to put that on tomorrow, it would have scratches all over it, like that. And even when I put that on, it will be a little bit more resistant, but not much. So let it dry fully, 3, 4, 5 days, and then chuck it back on. Paul's here. You'll see him in the comment section as Laguna. He's got his moped coming out. We've seen this moped before. He's creating a kind of Street Fighter moped from it. I think it's an Aprilia, but we need to double check. While kind of bits and pieces are going on and these are drying, absolutely no issue bringing the bike. And you guys can do this. You just got to message me if you've got a bike in your garden and you think either you want to donate it to the channel or you just want it up and running so that you can sell it and get rid of it. You're always welcome to chuck it in a van and come down and spend the day, and I'll teach you how to service it. What I don't do is literally take your bike, service them for you, and let you go, because that's kind of a different game. But we do things together. You're always welcome to come down. I get quite a lot of people ask me about big bore kits. Will I put on a big bore kit? Generally no, I won't. But if your engine's had it and your piston's gone anyway, and you've bought a new cylinder and piston that happens to be a big bore, absolutely bring it down and we'll put it on anyway. But what I don't want to do is take apart a good running engine to put on a big bore, because there's always a risk that it's not a running engine after we've manhandled it. Okay, so you guys have seen this before. You saw us messing with the stem last time. Paul's here in the background. Like I said, he'll be writing as Laguna always. So it's an Aprilia what? Atlantic 125, but this is the style Paul's making, a kind of Street Fighter top end, which they used to do on scooters a lot actually, normally little scooters, but it's got some really trick bits on this. It's got the digital clock, all of the ignition's hidden, you wouldn't find it. It took me ages, and even if you find it, you wouldn't know what it was. On top of that, it's got a hidden switch, and it's running this fuel pump system that we talked about it last time, that would be spot on for the Galera DNAs, because this is exactly the same setup. You've got a tank over at the front, and then you're feeding the fuel back to the carb. So it's a really interesting system. What you do need to worry about is the fact that the pump continues to flow. But you've put a runoff tube, a separate tube, which pumps any excess. This one? So any excess fuel that keeps going around goes back. The other concern there is if the pump will burn out, which is a possibility. The other option, Paul, you could do if this kept failing is go back to the suction, because at least they just don't stop. You'd find their port probably on the intake. I'd be surprised if you don't have one. Yeah, and then you go back to a Galera DNA style one, which you've got. I think you left one here, and that. But again, that's the Achilles heel in these bikes. So that's why you'd be better off with this fuel pump. I wonder if you'd set one up and have it ready. Don't know. This could be fine. This could last forever. The problem is a fuel pump normally has a relay, and the relay normally cuts it off. But I have no idea how the relay knows it's.
Fuel pressure switch.
Is that what it is? So as the fuel comes back.
Or it's a regulator, and it turns off and on.
Yeah.
Pressure drops, it turns
And actually, if you think about it, it is pumping a lot. Yeah. It's not far off pumping all the time anyway. No. It only stops off for a few seconds. The float bowl goes down. It comes back on. A few seconds. But then a few seconds might be enough to let it cool down. That's the kind of theory here. So we're still looking at the stem issues here. There is something we were looking at that might work. And then what do you want to do? Get some brake pads done?
Yeah, brake pads.
But this is a starting riding bike.
It start, yeah.
Yeah. What do you say? Pegs on the side?
Yeah, I'll do different pegs on there.
These ones?
No, they're coming off.
No. And last time we talked about some checker plate or something.
Yeah,
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, that's going to be sort of like last few things to button up really.
And do we know the legality of the sticky out fuel tank?
I did look online, I couldn't find much. Couldn't find much information at all.
My guess is
I do want a lockable one, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's a funny size, that's the problem.
Yeah, that would be their biggest worry, I think.
Yeah.
That bit. I think finding an MOT guy to do this will be quite difficult anyway, because they can be right annoying.
Hopefully, without all the panels on, it means they can see more of the bike, and I can just be like, that's fine. It's all fine. If anything, the headlight I'm worried about.
I think that'll be fine.
If it's a...
I don't think you'll have any issues with the headlight.
No.
Do you mean the design or style?
Just the alignment of it, because obviously I'll just slap that together, a few welds slapped it together, just for mocking up really.
I think you'd be... I don't think you'll have any issues there.
It works all right.
Yeah, I don't think you'll have any issues. I mean, my guys tell me every time I street fight something, they say to me, "What's it with you?" and pointing lights in the air. I think you'd be fine. I had this light on my Bandit, and I wasn't impressed with the.
That's the main thing.
Yeah,
it's not too bright.
It's not that bright, but they do look pretty cool. So Paul's told me maybe 4, 5, 6 times about the plan. So cut this part off. Yes, this part you could probably hammer in now, so it's a very tight fit. Cut this part off. Put a slit all the way down. Basically hammer it in, although not literally, but get it in there, and then the compression fitting will definitely expand. So, and how do we attach the compression fitting?
That goes through there. You take the handlebars off. That's cool.
In the same way what I was talking about.
Yeah.
I see. Yes, I think that's right. I think that's going to work. Great. Let's get some decent filming going on. I'll get the stand out. Sultan was here a couple of weeks ago and he goes, "Charlie, you're not wearing glasses." I was only using the little Dremel.
So the Dremel was spinning.
And I said to him,
broke about 5 times.
I said to him, "Mate, I bet you don't use glasses all the time." And he goes, "I don't, I just squint my eyes." I was like, safety squint.
You edited that video out where you broke the Dremels.
What video? Edited what?
Because I was filming you when you were flipping the Dremels and flipping when you're cutting the seat off.
Yeah, people get quite health and safety conscious
Like, Charlie, why, man?
when it doesn't affect them.
Once it hit me, I was like, whoa.
Look, they're going to say, "Oh, Paul's not got goggles on. He's wearing plimsolls." Where are the sparks going?
It's like he's got no petrol on the floor.
There isn't. There it is. Nice.
Close.
So it absolutely worked what we did. The compression fit is spot on. We definitely want this bolt just to take out a little bit of play as well. But that was spot on what we did there. The theory absolutely works. So we've got an expanding bolt in here now holding it. And it's tight. I mean, with the handlebars on, we can spin it, but we didn't nip it up fully. What I'm saying is that best to get our slip back in there so that we can put that securing nut, because I think that will be the last piece of the puzzle. I think you have to take that all the way up, Paul.
No, once it's not tight, it shouldn't be spinning those bits.
No, because it's in the bottom. It's in the bottom.
Well, it should have gone, it should be no further than that bar we put in there.
Oh yeah, but my guess is that's wedged in there, mate.
I'll give you a whack out.
Are you going to pull out? Are you going to pull out the whole thing?
Yeah, because the tube should stay in there.
I think we went in so far.
The tube's staying. So the tube, the sleeve that we've put in.
Is the sleeve coming though? Is our one coming though?
Yeah, the middle one is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know what you might find? You might pop it out and not be able to get it back in.
Hopefully not.
Why don't you just take the bolt out? That's what I was saying. Because if you take the bolt out, it just comes off, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I meant. Because it's down there, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
yeah. That's what I was thinking. And then we recut out the slit, and then you're back to. And then you're back to exactly what you want. You'll have your compression
Bye.